Welcome back to the second episode of the Crowcast. Today I am joined by Vinny Garofalo and Gaetano Cosmo. How are you guys doing today?
Get loud.
Not too
Get
bad.
loud. Get loud. Let's go.
Good day today.
Yeah, we're doing good. What's up?
I'm doing pretty well.
Happy to finally get on the Crowcast, episode number 2 coming through. Let's
so
go.
I know I did say last week that Mike and Steve were going to be on here, but we did have some scheduling conflicts, so I got these two with me, and I think we're just going to get straight into it.
This is the better option. This is what people wanted, bro.
Yeah.
The more exciting kind of people.
This is what the people wanted. Okay, Vin, could you tell me about the segment that you're gonna have for us today?
Yeah, so the topic and segment I want to talk about is how COVID has changed the education system from a college student's perspective. So how it's changed to us and even high school students, because obviously Gaetano was a freshman at actually no, you were a junior in high school, right?
He was a junior in high school. I was a senior in high school. My senior year got cut short, and then I went into freshman year of college.
Yeah.
In COVID.
Yeah, so kind of that and the impact on each of us. So for me personally, I was so that was 2020, so I would have been basically a sophomore in college pretty much when COVID peaked out. So when I was at New Paltz at the time, 2019, just coming to college, graduated the year before in 2018, and I remember college was lit as shit, bro. Unbelievably hype, especially as a freshman coming in from a really dead high school. Super excited, super happy to
Yeah, how populated?
What was your
high school? What was your graduating class?
Oh, bro, it was
size?
small. So I graduated from Mayapack, and it must have been maybe 180.
Okay. Yeah, I had around the same size. My graduating class was I think around 200. How big was yours?
Yeah, mine was 300.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we were all roughly the same. I knew some people that graduated with almost close to 1,000 kids.
Bro,
I was that's impossible.
If you're in an inner city school, you're usually graduating with a class of 500, 600, sometimes more. If you go to a big public school. So yeah, coming to New Paltz that first semester was super sick in the fall of in 2019, and I remember being so hyped for campus and the atmosphere and everything like that. And the first few months were good, bro. And then really once COVID came around and we got sent home, the next 2 years of my life were just super odd because of COVID, especially in school. So I basically lost my freshman year to COVID, to Zoom University. And I remember when I went into my major, this is how COVID probably impacted me the most. I was super excited about it, super hyped to be in IT and criminal justice as my minor and get into that field. And then once we switched to Zoom University and I realized you could basically just cheat your way through every single class and do whatever I wanted on the side, I was why am I going to put any effort into my classes anymore? And ever since then, I feel my motivation for college has been ruined.
I think you mentioned Zoom University. That was my freshman year. That's how I started college, which was a totally different experience to anyone else basically before. So my freshman year was all online, was all Zoom. I could basically not cheat my way through classes, but I could basically look up everything and not really fail. So it was kind of hard going from all my classes are on Zoom and I can basically look up and do whatever the fuck I want during class to now I actually have to go to class, pay attention, and go back to what it was like kind of during high school.
Yeah, I feel it was so different the way that you guys dealt with this because, I was in my junior year of high school. I was kind of wrapping it up because you know how senior year is, you don't really do anything.
Right.
So junior year, kind of what you did, on Zoom, didn't do much work, always on the PlayStation during classes, doing nothing. And then move into senior year, we're back in person for, majority of the year, just did nothing.
Yeah, I remember that second half, my little brother, I don't know if you guys did this, but was it a thing of you guys were split into two different groups and this group went in on these days each week? Yeah.
So it's that kind of sucked too because it was your friends were on one day or on the other. We also did 2 days in person, 2 online. It would go back and forth. So that was kind of weird. That also got us when we were back fully in person, that made us a little off. We weren't used to the 5 days a week, straight school, no break. So definitely since then, I think the motivation for a lot of kids have gone down. We're so used to doing everything on our own, not being in the room. We feel the need that we don't have to be in the room anymore because we gotten so used to this Zoom aspect. And just going into college too after that, stuff was still dying down a little bit with the COVID.
Yeah.
It was definitely weird hearing like all these stories from the upperclassmen, like you guys saying how like, especially like the seniors and juniors that we met from last year, they were always like, yo, campus used to be so fun, so active freshman year. And like, we'll never know what that was like. Especially me.
Us three have never experienced pace like pre-COVID.
Yeah, dude.
Which is weird because everyone's,
and
like
we hear
you said,
all the
everyone's
stories and they're like,
oh
it's
my God,
crazy.
it was crazy.
People on the roofs at the townhouses and all that.
No, bro. COVID definitely, what I don't think a lot of people have realized is COVID definitely changed like people's behavior for social settings too.
Think
when
about
you're
it.
in 2 years of like very limited contact with outside people, like you're not hanging out with your friends as much if you're just an average kid.
Think about it, yeah. Not like just a country or like a continent, the entire world was shut down for months.
Yeah.
For months, close to a year.
Yeah, bro.
Like stuff started opening back up, but we were shut down. Like the whole world was shut down for months.
And for some kids that only use school as a means of like socialization, like if you're not a super social kid, like I wasn't, school is your only avenue to like get to know people.
Early
and talk to them.
education,
Yeah,
like
especially in early
like
childhood.
K through 5.
Yeah, bro. Like
That's rough.
This
on
shit
them.
has fucked up stuff
That
for like
is
a
rough
long
on
time, and we're not even like seeing it like fully. Like I see like now freshmen that are coming in who like have legitimately no idea like how to talk to people.
Yeah, they
because
don't know how to
missed out
socialize.
on years of like socialization. Like because over Zoom, bro, you can't make a genuine connection with fucking anybody.
Yeah, you can't.
You know,
You can't.
like I was showing up very under the influence to a lot of my classes during Zoom University, and like I don't even remember any of it, bro. Like I didn't meet a meaningful connection once the time I was in Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom is like near impossible. Even like when you're put into breakout rooms and stuff.
Yeah, bro,
You don't do anything. It's so hard.
Yeah. No, and especially for like you guys, because did you have prom, Gaetano?
Yeah, but it was in my school gym.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me that like juniors and seniors that were in high school, like they missed out on graduation, they missed out on prom, like all the shit that I got to do, and I'm so grateful I got to do before COVID. Like it's just crazy you guys just never got to have that experience.
So I think I did get the whole high school experience. Like I went to prom 2 years. I was lucky enough as a sophomore to go because I knew someone. Junior year, our prom was weird. It wasn't like a designated junior and senior prom. It was like just all together for the high school. So I went sophomore and junior year, and senior year got cut short, and I was like, I don't really give a shit about prom. Like that's not even on my mind. I don't give a fuck about that. But prom, what was the other thing you mentioned? Graduation.
Graduation, yeah.
Graduation.
Right.
I got severely lucky with that. I was lucky enough where my high school had a big enough front field where they could have like all 200 of us lined up 6 feet apart, and we could actually have an in-person graduation.
Right.
I was one of the lucky ones. Most of the people that I know were not as lucky. And that's the shit that sucks.
Yeah.
People literally had like a video, a slideshow of just names.
My cousin
Just
had her
names scrolling.
fucking her senior prom on Zoom. Like a senior, like legitimately, like
A Zoom
on
prom?
Zoom. Yeah, yeah. My cousin, she's that big now, but
How does that work?
I have no idea, bro. She said it was miserable. They sat there. They had like breakout rooms for certain things. Like it was just not good.
That's terrible.
I would have just not gone.
No,
yeah,
that
what
was
was the
just
point
not
of that?
gone.
I mean,
That's
like at that
terrible.
point, like organize something just with your students.
That's
'Cause
what
I know
I
that's what a
mean,
lot
like,
of people did. Like
It's so crazy. Like some people, like even like our graduating seniors from last year, bro, missed out on like literally 2 years of their college
2
education.
years of their college experience.
Like I would say I kind of got gypped a little bit, but like I'm making up for it now, so it doesn't bother me too much.
I
but-
think I came in at the perfect time where it was kind of like the peak of COVID.
yeah,
Some things like were still shut down. I remember my freshman year, I was living in Alumni Hall, and Alumni Hall got shut down for 2 weeks because there was like an outbreak on the 3rd floor. And luckily enough, I literally went home to get dinner with my family like 2 hours before. So I got home, 2 hours, I checked my phone, and everyone's like, yo, like, everybody's got to join the Zoom at alumni. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then I figure out a couple hours later that, like, that entire hall got shut down because there were, like, 18 cases on the 3rd floor. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild, bro. And honestly, like, it's just super crazy, like, to think that the graduating class of, like, 2020, you know, like, our guys that go back, obviously, a few years, like, legitimately, like, their entire senior year was just evaporated. Like, did not get, like, because they were in the peak of the shit. Like, no graduation, no nothing. And then the previous, like, the next year in 2021, even, like, they couldn't come back to campus for a little bit. Like, they weren't allowed to really do shit with their school or their community. Like, it was fucked, bro. Like, it was just such a terrible time.
I would say, like, as bad as it sounds to say, but, like, I was in the time of my life when COVID was, like, at its peak. I got kind of lucky. I was in my junior year of high school. Wasn't missing out on much. Same people, same stuff going on. Senior year, they started going away. And then freshman year, it was kind of like a fresh start. Although you could definitely tell, like, the campus is not the same. People, they're stuck in their dorms. They don't want to do anything. I feel like that's just something that we're still honestly struggling with. And I'm already in my sophomore year. And you just constantly, like, it's like a struggle almost to get people outside doing stuff.
I do kind of want to talk about, like, personal at-home experiences, you know, when, like, we were completely stuck at home with nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do?
I was literally, like, go to class, play the PlayStation, whatever, play some COD, Fortnite with the boys, play some basketball with some of my boys at a park nearby. Sometimes go out on the weekends, but we couldn't really go out anywhere that we could, like, enjoy ourselves. A lot of sitting at home, honestly. That's what it was. I got so used to sitting at home.
Like, did you have, like, crazy family bonding, or did you kind of, like, section yourself off because you wanted to talk to your friends a lot because you were missing out on that socialization?
I definitely spent a lot of time with my family. Like, one time, I brought COVID home, so I got everyone else sick, so we were stuck there. It was a little bonding moment. Not the best bonding you want, but...
all sick at the same time.
Definitely... It was weird being in the house so much. It's just something you're not used to. And then by the end of COVID, I was like, I'm sick of this. Like, I want to get out. Yeah. And, like, last year I commuted. After, like, all those years of being stuck at home, I kind of wanted, like, a new start, be a little more independent. And that's why, like, this year I'm living on campus, surrounded by my boys. Like, that's kind of who I am. I love being surrounded by everyone. Very social person to just, like, do last-minute things and hang out with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Vin, your situation was a little different because...
Oh, yeah, bro. New Paltz was super weird. So when COVID, like, got bad in, like, March, they didn't send us home immediately because the New Paltz dorms all rented outside of campus. So for almost a month straight, it was just, just a whole bunch of people hanging out, not doing anything, and just smoking and drinking and, like, making very poor decisions. So...
yeah.
That first 2 months of COVID was just a really bad health and mental experience. Once I got sent home, I did nothing, bro. I smoked every single day because there was nothing to do. My mom is immune compromised. She had cancer a few times.
Yeah.
And I also was dealing with medical issues at that point. So it was like I didn't really want to do shit at this point because now it was serious.
Did you spend a lot of time with your dad, or were you still kind of in a rough spot with him?
So because he didn't want to get, like, vaccinated, didn't really believe in COVID, like, that was his personal opinion on it, like, wasn't super crazy about it. I couldn't see him for, like, 5, 6, 7 months because, like, I wasn't going to get my mom sick. So really up until, like, July of 2020, I did literally nothing, like, absolutely nothing. It wasn't really until, like, August where I started, like, all right, like, I got to, like, get out and do shit. And I spent a lot of time, like, driving, especially just going on, like, drives in the woods or, like, whatever the fuck. Spent a lot of time on my quad, just, like, fucking with nature. Like, that was, like, a big nature year for me for some reason.
Yeah, they were, like, telling us not to go outside, and then everyone was like, I want to go outside more.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, there were parts of COVID that were pretty cool. Like, things were very, like, low-key. Not being able to work in person sucked. I hated working remotely. It was not fun. I do it now, and
now you only want to work remotely.
Yeah, now it's so funny because, like, now I love the convenience of it, but, like, that's another thing too, bro. Like, even the work environment, oh my god, just everything has changed so much. You guys will find out in a few years. It's a totally different topic if you want to bring it up later. Just like interviews, job applications, even working has changed so much because of COVID. Like, it'll just everything is so much different.
Exactly. Like, that's the point. Like, everything has changed so much. No one wants to
Yeah.
be in person anymore.
No, exactly. Like
Supply
in
chains
my
are
field,
fucked.
bro, like IT especially, it was a huge field that was all about online connectivity and all that kind of bullshit. But now it's literally
that whole field across the world was working like double overtime.
yeah, bro.
24 hours a day for
Absolutely. And now what's so funny is there's literally no jobs for in-person IT workers anymore because
Yeah.
it's just like
because
everything can be done
everything
remotely.
was like made remote and you can do it remote now.
So it's like it sucks because this my major, another reason I don't really fuck with it anymore is because like the landscape has changed so much. It's not the field that I was trying to get into like 3 years ago. But yeah, like even when you guys like job interviews, bro, I haven't been on an in-person job interview in 2.5 years. All of them have been through Zoom.
Yeah.
Even like final like I worked for like Intel, bro, like a higher up corporation that's like good on the stocks and the market and everything, and all 5 stages of my interview were Zoom. I was just like, what the like this doesn't even
Like
feel
even
real.
like final round of
Yeah,
interviews.
even when I met like the divisional hiring manager and all the
wild.
sales reps, they were in a conference room, 10 guys wearing suits, and it was just me sitting in my fucking
That's
like
crazy.
apartment with a fucking tuxedo on in my pajamas.
Yeah.
Like it was complete bullshit, bro.
I worked in a restaurant during COVID. That was it wasn't weird, but like it was how you would expect it to be. Like you had to wear a mask all the time.
Yeah.
And if I remember vividly one guy like freaking out because he saw one of the chefs without a mask on for like 2 minutes.
Right.
And he flipped the fuck out because he was like, no, like I don't want to have like any germs or anything. Like you guys are cooking my food without a mask on. This was like height of COVID. Like
Yeah.
this was early COVID. And he like just walked out. Like he didn't take his food or anything.
Yeah, dude, I remember really bad peaks of it. Like when I was in the city in 2021, like there was that summer resurgence where like shit was hitting the
That
fan
was
and like it
bad.
was getting worse than it was in 2020.
The Delta variant.
Yeah, bro, like being in Manhattan at that point cuz I was on Wall Street at that
Yeah.
point sucked. It was legitimately like terrifying everywhere you went. Like you were on the subway and you were like holy fuck, like obviously the vaccine wasn't really super rolled out at this point.
It was like in the later stages of development. It
Yeah,
wasn't
bro. Like
being
you
pushed
didn't
out
really
yet.
want to still even at that point do things like that. Even that whole summer was kind of just like I didn't do much because like shit was like bad again. Like hopefully now I'm praying like there is another resurgence, but like, dude, oh my god, college will just never be the same. I probably like for you guys, Gaetano, probably like gonna take 5-6 years for this campus to be actually normal again.
It's
If it ever
starting,
does, I really don't
from
know.
what, like I've heard it's starting to come back, but it's
Yeah.
not like in full force.
Like, because if you think about it, bro, COVID is responsible for the death of like 12 organizations on this campus alone. If you really want to like start pinpointing stuff, if you want to look at like while student clubs are dead and why like Pace is struggling with involvement, it all comes back to COVID. Like that wiped out what? Almost two fraternities, most of our cultural organizations on campus, most of the student-run clubs. Like I know all the Seinberg clubs completely died during COVID. Even like here, like for the most part, like not just Greek life, bro, but like everything on campus just has so
Everything.
little enrollment now because nobody really got involved. Like there was no reason to.
there was
you
no
know?
reason to get involved because there was nothing to get involved with.
Yeah.
It's just like you constantly think like over and over again, like when are we gonna have that change, that flip?
It's gonna take years.
But it's like
It's gonna take a long time.
It's gonna probably be after we graduate, if it ever. Like, I honestly think now we're never going back to like the 2014 style colleges where like unless you're going to a giant state school like University of Albany or something and like that. If you want that giant college atmosphere, you're probably not gonna find it in small schools because you could get it here at one point. At the peak of like this school's popularity before COVID, like there was a lot to do here. And COVID really just kind of evaporated like half your options. Like if you want to get involved with your campus, you're joining either a club or Greek life or joining a sports team or a student run organization. Like, but there's only 2 left.
at this point, that really is the only involvement: sports and say Greek life. Everything else is dead.
Sports, Greek life, and like clubs that are still like very active. Like programming board is a huge one. Programming board, like they host a lot of stuff now. They host a lot of stuff, but that's because they're trying to build up again.
The atmosphere also changed during COVID a lot because a lot of what we would do, like as guys, is we'd play games with our friends and you're like groups of like 5 or 6.
I would literally get on Discord at 12 o'clock when I woke up, and I did not get off until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Exactly. So you would start to form groups of like your 5 or 6, 7 boys during the course of COVID if you were a very like online type of dude. And I noticed that a lot of kids that were a mix like I am of like social, like I can do a lot of social stuff, but I can also just sit around and like play video games and do nerd shit. Mm-hmm. Those kids have gravitated more towards smaller groups of people. They want to be like with 4 or 5 people max. They hang out in their dorms, like in giant suites now. It's not really so much about like giant groups, like involvement in like clubs or teams. It's more about a really close like group of people that you like formed a connection with. So I don't think that big, super involved atmosphere is going to come back, like probably for a little bit. Because even if you notice at some of our like mixers and stuff like that, you know, it's more smaller groups for the most part. That's kind of what you get now, you know. But I don't know.
It's just such a problem. No one wants to do anything anymore. Yeah. I think that just comes back again to just the height of COVID. No one wants to do anything. No one has the motivation because they know that they could just rely on themselves now, rely on all their electronics and stuff. And like that's their entertainment because that's what we did to entertain ourselves during the height of COVID. That's all we did day and night.
No, it's hard to break out of the habit too, bro. Like even my first semester back here, like I was in a single dorm and you know, that was last fall. So like my first few weeks, bro, like I did nothing. Like my first week here, I just sat on my PC and like, you know, got food at Kessel, like very similar to Joe, and like literally did nothing. And one day I was like, yo, am I really going to spend like my last 2 years of college just doing the same thing I've been doing for 2 years? Like, fuck no, bro. And like, you have to like force yourself. Like there's no, like I got very lucky that I found people that like were involved in campus, but like even the attempt to get students involved with this campus is minimal. Like I didn't even know about the involvement fair until somebody else happened to just tell me about it in the bathroom.
I did know about the involvement fair. Like I remember my first semester here, I trekked through it, but nothing like caught my interest where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's what, there's so little attempt from the school to like really promote like giant ass events. Like the communication from the school is bad.
The school does not care about what clubs are being made and about which ones like survive. They don't care.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know what SDCA really needs to do at this point, or even just like the school in general, but it has to be like a president level like effort to like save the social atmosphere on the school. Like I know like the big thing is like get rid of Greek life, but you get rid of Greek life and you're really kind of
get rid of Greek life. There's almost no involvement on campus.
Seriously,
that's
like,
a fact.
What is there to do here?
I can say with confidence that like we are the reason this campus gets involved in something.
Yeah.
We
like, obviously the student-run clubs, the ones that are still big, do a lot. Like obviously the programming board is huge. I know the commuter association is absolutely huge. And without a doubt, like I know like RAs even try their best. They do cookouts. They do everything they can to really get, but there's nothing from like the school that makes me go, you know what? Like I want to actually leave my dorm and go participate.
Like unless the school is giving away like free stuff, nobody's going to want to go anywhere.
Right. I kid you not, like the school has never gotten my interest to make me say like, oh, let me leave my house, let me leave my dorm and go to Kessel and get involved or something. It's always been something with an organization or something like that run by the students that actually want to get involved and that actually care to, you know, put in some effort to get this community going.
Programming board is the definition of by students for students.
Right. Yeah, and it's awesome that like the school wants to give us money to like run events and expects us to do it, and like great, I appreciate that, but they need to do like a school level like involvement. Like use your funds, use your money and plan something, use your staff and plan an event similar to homecoming or Spring Fest or whatever, and make it like more common, bro. Yeah. Like no one is gonna want to stay at, you know what the transfer rate for the school is after 2 years? 2 years the transfer rate for the school. Take a guess.
Like out of here?
Yes.
76%.
Lower than that. A little bit.
45%.
A bit higher than that.
Or are you talking like 55, 60?
Yeah, in the 50s.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
56% transfer rate out of 2 years. That is abysmal.
Because a lot of people
private
say
institution.
a lot of people say there's nothing to do
here.
ever.
And COVID really just made that much. Like, they were saying that 2 or 3 years ago in the alumni survey they sent out. Before COVID, our alumni were saying, like, there's not that much to do on PACE. Like, there has to be more of, like, a social thing for the student body. Now it's like, where even is it? Like, it's gone now.
Just
There's nothing left.
Think about if we weren't in this organization that we built from the bottom by ourselves, what would we be doing right now?
I'd be such a fucking dweeb, bro.
I'd be at home right now.
I'd be the biggest dweeb on campus.
I would have transferred. Or I would have done my last year online.
Like, you guys are the reason.
No, I actually probably would have transferred. I probably would have transferred to like a school near me where I would have just commuted, and like 2 of my friends at home I would have just taken classes with.
Right.
That's exactly what would have happened.
Like, you guys are really the reason why I stay on campus more. This is why I moved onto campus, to spend more time to do stuff. Because without, like, all of us, what would we be?
It's tough, bro. And, like, the school is obviously a small school, like, obviously. But, like, the student body is really isolated from each other if you think about it. Like, there's nothing that really brings... Like, how often do we see... And, like, we go to class. We're in the library. Like, we're around campus pretty often, even though we're in the townhouses. How often do we really see, like, the entire student body just, like, interacting and doing shit? Besides, like, Kessel. Like, Kessel and, like, you know...
But even aside from Kessel is not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Even just a quick comparison to last year. Last year, it was a little more packed than this, maybe way more. Like, now, you walk in, there's nothing.
Even the townhouse community, bro, that's such a missed opportunity by the school to take advantage of that. Because that's a whole bunch of your upper class people who got probably another year or 2 left in the school. And when you hit them up in 2 or 3 years for money, because you know those alumni fund emails are coming, I'm not going to want to donate to a school that doesn't provide a social atmosphere for its students. Like, yes, your education is great. I love my program for the most part. It's not that bad. But, like, besides that, like, why would I fund this school and help this school if you're not going to invest in your kids? Because really, college is all about building a social foundation that you then take into the workplace to help you be successful.
And I feel like the problem with that is, especially for the new kids, they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
They're just, like, left at nothing. Like, I had a kid, I was working in the office, SDCA office yesterday, and this kid comes up to me, he's asking me a question for his computer, you know, I fix it, whatever. And then he's like, so, do you have a lot of friends here on campus? I'm like, yeah, pretty active on campus. I know a lot of people. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty easy to, you know, make friends and stuff, but, like, I feel like I didn't have that struggle because I met you guys at a very early stage in my life in college. But as a kid for him, probably sophomore, maybe not as social as I was as a freshman, he was like, oh, it's really not that easy to make friends and stuff. And he's like, you know, it's hard to socialize and make new friends around campus because no one is ever doing anything. No one's ever putting themselves out there.
Yep.
So it's like, how are you going to build something if there's no foundation?
What PACE needs to get on that would fix this, because the University of Buffalo did this. They implemented this in 2020, and it's worked really well for 2 years, is literally an app, like a social app, that is just built for the university. And they just need to heavily promote it, include things like forum posts, meetups, every, like, groups, make searching student organizations easier, all of the social atmosphere. Just put it on a phone,
Everything needs to be put in one place.
Just put it all in one place.
Everything
and you're
right now is
everything.
So scattered around everywhere.
Exactly.
Like,
Clean up the portal.
They have the MyPace mobile app.
Yeah.
But
right.
I feel like all the underclassmen don't know what it is,
right.
or have
I didn't even know about
once
it.
Or twice.
And PACE, you're never going to hear this, but that's a great start. That's a good idea. That is, like, a great step in the right direction to get an application out for the school. But, like, y'all got to, like, capitalize on that shit. Like, I should be able to search up, like, student organizations. I should be able to see, like, the flush, what is it? The flush flash?
Yeah.
Every week, like, all the flyers, like, everything that's going on.
The newsletter should be on there as well.
The newsletter needs to be on there. Like, centralize all of your shit, bro, and you can fix this. Like, this is a fixable issue. You just need to invest some time and resources into it.
Do you guys know the Cork app?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very good app, but I feel like they don't utilize it to the best of their ability.
No,
It's
it's
very-
literally the
it's
app to
good,
like,
but-
oh, I'm signing into your event, and that's it.
No, it's like some events use it, some don't, and that's because again, there's no direction from the school.
Yeah.
Like if the school was like coming to us and saying, "Hey, put all of your events on Cork," we don't put our events on Cork.
No.
Why the fuck would we do it? It makes no sense. If they came to us and said like, "All of your events need to be on Cork because this is the unified platform we're using to have events out," sure, okay, but like no one has
more
said that
people
to
will
us.
know about it.
And
Exactly.
I feel like definitely more commuters would use Cork, say someone that lives on campus, because like I remember last year I was checking Cork once a week almost to see what I can do, how
Yeah.
to get involved on campus. But like now to think about it, now that I'm living on campus, I haven't checked it once. So it's definitely, and our school is majority commuters, but even then we still lack that. We still lack that student engagement.
Yeah. I mean, look, with all that said, like COVID fucked up pace, but it wasn't a terrible time. Like obviously, like even before AXP and I was super involved, like there were fun things to do here and like it was genuinely a good time. And pace has given me a lot, like I would say. At the end of the day, I don't really look back and I'm like, yo, this school sucks socially. I'm like, I got a pretty great investment out of it so far and I still have time left. And like something about being in this university definitely is a pretty unique experience. There's just shit that goes on here that you would not see at like a giant ass state school.
Yeah.
And something about it being small too is kind of nice. That's
All
cool.
right. I now have the question of the day for you boys.
Oh god.
Who had the biggest fall from grace in history? I thought of one
Yo, I got one.
immediately.
I got one instantly.
Go for it.
Guy, you have one ready?
You
All
can
right,
go
I'll let
first.
that simmer. Elon Musk, bro. Easy. All right, and hear me out on this one. Dude, like 3-4 years ago, was hyped up as this goddess, fucking came from nowhere, the old PayPal co-founder, you know, all this hot shit about him. Comes out, you're like, yo, I got fucking SpaceX, bro. I'm sending y'all motherfuckers to Mars and all this shit. Like, hyped up as this, like, billionaire that was gonna, like, save the fucking planet,
He
bro.
was basically hyped up as a god.
Yeah, he was hyped up
god
as like
amongst
Tony
men.
Stark, like the next Iron Man, practically. And this dude, like somehow over the last year, has just disintegrated in like most people's public value. Like going on this crazy tirade about like the politics shit and the self-driving cars, and then nuking his stock and selling it off, and now the shit with Twitter, bro. Like, oh my god, like he's definitely in the spotlight probably right now for the wrong reasons, I would say.
Yeah, his spotlight is definitely like not good. My answer is kind of funny. I think it's really funny. But the first person that I thought about is fucking Fetty Wap, bro.
Yeah. Yo,
Wap.
Fetty fell
Wap-
off.
Fetty fell
Fetty
off
fell the
in a
fuck off.
year. He came out hot out of the gate.
Dude, and his shit was everywhere. I mean, I was like,
Everywhere.
I think I was like a sophomore or freshman in high school when his music was like crazy, but like everywhere, bro. Like you couldn't go a day without hearing like one of his songs from somebody.
Yeah.
He was just infectious, bro. And then just
And
he
then
fell
just
off.
fell off the face
Fell
of the
off.
earth.
Just disappeared. Yeah, no, he had, and like he hasn't really done shit in a minute. Like I don't think he's put out much in. I don't know. When was the last song he put out? 2017.
I have no idea. I'm actually going to check
Couldn't
right now.
tell you.
I'm going to check.
Yeah, no, he definitely fell off.
I do remember when everyone was talking about him though. That hype.
Everyone.
Yeah, his missing eye scared me, bro. Like I
His-
remember being terrified of that.
I was personally
His
never
latest-
like
his
crazy
latest
over
single.
him, but he was good.
His latest single, November 18th of this year.
That's wild, bro.
Didn't even know.
Probably not even charting.
His last album, October 22nd, 2021. The
Really?
one
He's still
before
putting out
that,
music?
2020. 2 albums in 2020. Before that, 2018, 2015.
It's got to be like some low effort, like just bullshit, like give me some views type of stuff, bro. Because I haven't heard anything. I haven't even heard his name, like at all.
Yeah. The only time that I'll hear his name is like a song of his comes up, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's Fetty Wap."
Yeah. Like you hear like our throwback mixers when someone wants to hear.
To
like
be fair, this man's got 7.4 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah, bro, because that music is still infectious. Like it comes on,
still
you're moving.
Slaps.
Like you're getting down to that shit. Absolutely. I know.
I feel like
Tana, you were in
679
diapers when
679
all those
Trap
music
Queen
came out, but
are
like Trap Queen?
legendary songs.
That one's fire. I feel like a lot of these artists, it's the music from back then that we always are playing and rewinding. Like
Yeah.
that's what gets us.
I have a playlist of
attach
like
them.
pop, like 2K songs, slappers. You get hype every time they come on.
Like to me, a good mixer theme with good music is throwbacks.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
hits different than that.
Yeah.
Who fell off for you? What'd you get?
Honestly, I don't have anyone off the top of my mind, but I definitely think Elon Musk has gone down astronomically.
Yeah.
No one really cares about him
His
anymore.
shit with Twitter is wild. Have y'all been on like Twitter at all recently?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Like
It's
I love
bad.
watching like the meltdown on there like every day,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Do you remember the Tampax tweet?
oh my yo, like this dude is like literally just such a like I can't even I wish I had the kind of money to just be like fuck all of you. Like I'm gonna go buy a social media company and just tank it.
And just tank it.
Just tank it because it's funny. Like he's literally
Fuck,
just like
yeah.
laughing at the fact that he's bankrupting this company.
That Tampax tweet.
Which
Oh
is
my
it's
God.
crazy, bro.
The Tampax
So do you
tweet,
think
I
they
remember
care? Like,
seeing a reply for it. They were like, "Oh yeah, we wanted to get this tweet out before like Twitter died." I was like, "What the fuck?"
What do you mean? Do they care?
when they buy a company, these guys got millions of dollars.
I think
They play
Elon-
around with it,
Yeah.
especially Elon.
I think, bro, honestly, he didn't really think he was gonna end up buying Twitter, and he got like finessed into because of all the lawsuit shit, and like obviously he pulled out. At that point, he was gonna have to pay a whole bunch anyway.
He's got
Like-
money to throw.
Yeah, but like, bro, like this company has not made money in 10 years. Like, why would you go and then buy a social media company that you know is tanking, and then you go on Twitter
And
and,
then
complain
tank it
it
even
sucks.
more.
Yeah, now you're just trying to run into the ground, like, bro.
Yeah.
Like I fuck with Twitter. Like it's good for sports shit, bro. Where I get all my Yankees news.
Yeah.
That's all I really use it for.
Yeah, bro.
It's basically
Nothing
sports,
else, really.
game news, stuff like that. Twitter, what is it? I remember talking about this in my sports media class a lot last semester, where Twitter is the perfect platform for like news then and there.
Yes. I
Like,
completely agree.
Right there, immediately available.
The culture has changed so much since back then. Twitter's not the same.
Y'all hear about Hive, bro? Hive?
Hive?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like this new Twitter alternative or whatever that everyone keeps talking about.
Interesting.
Saw it on TikTok. That's where I get my reliable information from.
Talk about TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, reliable information.
Another
Oh,
news. Some
It's a
people use that
reliable
for
outlet,
news.
bro. Absolutely, bro.
People post right
TikTok
away.
factor cap is so funny.
The problem is I can't open the app during the day or I'm on there for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
So I just don't open it ever
Bro, last
anymore.
year that was my bed routine. 2 hours minimum TikTok before I,
would
go to bed.
I would
It's like the fix.
No, I would wake up, and if I had nothing to do all day, I would literally sit scrolling for like 3.5 hours on my
Yeah.
phone. I was like, okay, this is bad. I actually need to get up.
No,
now.
it's like contagious, bro. You just can't stop.
That's
I feel
what
like
gets
a
you
toddler.
through the day sometimes.
Yeah, no, I literally I feel like a fucking little toddler. Like, you know, those iPad kids, bro. They sit there and they, you know, play their Balloon Tower Defense or fucking Cookie Clicker or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
That's what I'm like now. when I'm on
Outside of
TikTok.
Elon Musk, like, who are you really, really fucking tired of hearing about?
Andrew Tate.
Oh my god, yo, is he
Yeah.
coming back?
That's
bro?
what I was.
saw a video.
That's what
on my
I was thinking
recommended,
about
I don't
saying,
think
but
he
he's not
will.
completely on his downfall. But I definitely think everyone's seeing like he's not worth the hype that we gave him back then.
He's basically a meme at this point.
No,
He is.
He really
He's a
is,
fucking
bro.
meme.
And what's crazy is like I remember even my 9-year-old cousin, who's a guy, was listening to Andrew Tate and telling me about him, and I was like, bro, you're like 9. When I was 9, bro, I was playing with fucking Legos and like
Yeah, when I
playing
was 9, I was
Minecraft.
playing with fucking like Transformers figures in Minecraft.
Yeah,
like,
bro, like I was playing Minecraft. Like, why are you watching Andrew Tate? Like, you're 9 years old.
Bro,
You don't need to worry about that.
There's too much media available to the younger generation.
That is fact.
and that's why
bad.
they're different compared to our.
Yeah.
Like our childhood is not the same as the childhood now.
from
was-
like
yeah.
when I was 5 years old up until I was like 12. I was basically outside every day with like the people in my neighborhood
Me too.
every day.
Now all these kids do stay inside on their
Fucking iPad
phones,
kids.
iPads.
Yeah, bro. COVID definitely like entrenched that for kids.
That too.
Kids that were like middle ground for the most part, got pushed extremely to like, yo, I'm just gonna like chill inside and play video games, which is like, all right, that's probably how the next generation is gonna be now. Like,
It's sad though.
Yeah, it
because
is
that's
sad.
another thing that just fucks with the social aspect of these kids' lives. They're not
like
gonna
if you think
realize
about
what they're
it, right?
missing out on.
When we used to play video games as kids, bro, our parents would always be like, yo, like y'all don't go outside, like go play fucking like fetch or some shit.
literally.
So
They'd be
now
like,
it's
okay,
just
you have
gonna
like a
be
2-3
that,
hour
but-
time limit.
Yeah, it's gonna be that,
Dude,
but worse.
I remember the Wii. Like,
yeah,
the
bro.
Wii would literally tell you, like, oh, you've been playing for a while. Like, go take a break. Like, breathe some air. Go outside. Touch some grass.
That's what I'm saying.
Real quick though, what color Wii did you guys have?
I had the white one.
I'd would.
Just the regular white one.
Yeah.
I had
black?
the red.
Oh, I wanted the black Wii.
The Wii
looked
was
fine.
my first console I ever had.
That's the only thing I didn't like about the Wii's. It stood out too much with furniture. It was white. I wanted like a black, sleek one.
They offered it, but then
Yeah.
nobody
Like-
really bought it because they already had one.
Wii Sports, tennis on the Wii.
I can fuck anybody up in Wii
We got to
Sports
set up
tennis.
a Wii at the townhouse.
I
We could
have a Wii.
probably,
I can bring it.
we could get one for like $40, bro.
Yeah.
I
not
have one.
even.
Like I might bring it.
That'd be sick
That might
just
be,
to have.
like-
you know?
Yeah.
Something we could get everyone to at the houses. A little competition.
Yeah, dude. A Wii Sports tournament.
Yeah, that would
Dude,
be
Wii
fire.
Sports, Wii Sports baseball is my shit.
Oh my god.
All
that
of them
and
are so
tennis.
fun.
Wii Sports tennis, I am a beast in.
Yeah, dude, but it's so funny how like we're yelling at kids now about how they're not as social, like the younger kids, like the same way our parents yelled at us, bro.
But it's our fault.
yeah, but
realistically.
like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of society's fault to be honest.
it is
like,
society's fault.
But like, what are you gonna do? Plague breaks out, and starts killing people. You know, the fact that we were able to kind of navigate out of that a little bit.
I remember there was the
so
whole
crazy.
wave of like, oh, violent video games lead to people killing each other.
Oh my god, bro!
There was that whole thing for years.
I played so much GTA during COVID; it was crazy.
GTA and COD was my childhood.
That's
I
wild.
played like
I was Minecraft kid,
a
bro.
huge
I
variation
liked
of
Minecraft
everything.
too. I played everything kind of. But
I was the generation of kid that grew up on like Minecraft was the video game that really tied me into like gaming, like certified me like I'm gonna play video games the rest of my life, like just a generational game.
Yeah.
I was always
For
the
kids
COD
now,
kid,
some of it's like
just-
Roblox. I feel like what is like the no, it was Fortnite, bro. Like
It was
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah, like you're probably an OG Fortnite kid, right?
I was. I started really early, like when it came out.
Yeah, but like, what did you play like video game wise before Fortnite?
Like, what was the first game you played?
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
yeah. So like Call of Duty, like Fortnite.
Starting from the first Call of Duty, and then I just bought every other one going up. That was my childhood, playing with my cousins, my friends. After school, we'd hop on. Like, that was it. Those were the good days.
those were the good days.
When you didn't
bro.
have to worry about anything, you go home, and that's all
Just
you
wait till
did.
you're a
You were a
senior,
fucking
bro.
no responsibility baby.
Just wait till you're a fucking senior, pal. The good days are right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like while we're still
These are the
in
dog days.
Honestly, like
college.
for our age as young adults, like this is our prime. This is the time to enjoy it.
pretty much, yeah.
Because after this, it's
downhill,
gone.
you got real responsibilities, bro.
It's gone. No more.
Just
Kinda
a quick,
sad.
Just a quick little sidetrack. My Snapple cap says about 1/3 of your taste buds are numbed while flying.
To what?
About 1/3 of your taste buds are numbed while flying. And their food is still bad.
Ooh, you know what you said that ties in perfectly to what I want to talk about with COVID, actually?
What?
You were just talking about how these are our prime years and it's downhill. And I was about to say, because that's when you start working. You guys, I can't wait till you guys become seniors in the fall of next year. Or not you, but you've got time, but you.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, bro. And you start applying to jobs, going on interviews now. This shit has changed so much from when I applied for my first job when I was a freshman, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Like, applying to post-grad work is just so whack. Like, you are literally... The entire process has completely changed. Like, you are essentially
Yeah.
just, like, a fucking random number in the Zoom machine lottery for, like, a first-stage interview at, like, any company, bro. Not only that, like, hiring requirements are going up a lot because hiring managers have already realized that, like, kids essentially are finessing their way through college
Yeah,
right now.
you're
and
literally
still
just
are.
a name in zeros and ones.
Exactly. So, like, hiring requirements for entry-level jobs are going way up, you know? So, like, it's just, man, COVID has changed everything. Like, and it will continue to affect the workplace. God help us if we hit a recession. Oh my god.
We are fucked.
I mean,
I think we're
I
kind of
think
like
so.
in one, right?
technically we are kind of in one, but
Yeah.
nobody's really saying that we're in a recession. But I don't really want to.
I feel like no one's saying it.
I feel like we're all like right at the boundary of being in one.
Yeah, I need the government to come through with my student loan forgiveness. That would be sick now. I'd really
nice.
appreciate that.
Isn't that being like held and everything?
Yeah, there's a lawsuit challenging it. And like honestly, like lawsuit low key kind of valid because like the way this was supposed to work is the public is supposed to be able to comment on what they were trying to do. And the whole issue with it is like one person was not eligible for the relief because of some bullshit requirement. Like that his loan wasn't provided by somebody.
Yeah.
So they sued and they won. And like honestly, like yeah, I would prefer a solution that like genuinely takes care of like every inch of this issue with student loans. Because like we're just gonna end up in the same issue in like 2-3 years. Kids are still gonna be taking out loans.
Yeah.
Because school is expensive as fuck. So this doesn't solve anything for like you, because you probably still have 2 more loans. And it doesn't really help you either. It helps me, but like it doesn't actually fix the problem at all. No. So like selfishly, give me my money. Unselfishly, make the system better and then give me my money. That's what I would like.
And then bring me my money.
Free education.
Yeah, that'll definitely never
Imagine.
Yeah, that's
Community college is like the closest thing you're getting to a free education.
I think if education was free, a lot of these kids wouldn't even try.
No,
There's like
bro,
the aspect
job
of
requirements would be even crazier. Like that's the thing is like we're lucky in a sense that we get to go to college and have it on our resume and whatnot. Because like legitimately, like a degree is very marketable. Like it's a salary increase, it's everything. You're paying for the privilege to make more money, essentially.
Yeah.
Or you could start at McDonald's and work your way up to a manager.
or
Which is-
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, which is a valid
Yo,
option, bro.
can we talk about McDonald's University? Like
What?
their
What?
They
college?
have a university.
Yeah, Hamburger University, bro.
Is it real? Can I apply
It's
right
a
now?
real thing. McDonald's
fucking shot.
owns a college that is
Where?
like it's even harder to get into than Harvard.
There's no way.
It's a thing.
Community college in Chicago, Illinois, Hamburger University, on Rudolph Street.
Hamburger
University.
Okay,
is a
Hamburger
training-
University is a
no
training
way.
facility at the McDonald's Corporation global headquarters in Chicago, Illinois. It instructs high potential restaurant managers, mid managers, and owner operators in restaurant management. Hold on, I gotta find the acceptance rate.
How do I get into this school right now? I would drop out
luck.
of patience.
Good luck.
We applying to McDonald's University.
No, because if you think about it, this is probably a school that literally just prepares you to work in McDonald's forever.
I'm not kidding. I just looked it up. McDonald's Hamburger University has a 1% acceptance rate.
Yeah.
Why? What?
1%.
So it's probably quite literally a school that's only focus is to just hire people into the corporate atmosphere of McDonald's and keep them there forever.
So entrepreneurship.
It's kind of genius. Like IBM does
It's
the
genius.
same thing. You essentially you find these kids maybe through an internship, and like they just work in corporate forever. Like you bring them in at 18, brainwash them, and they're fucking set. You know what I
Your
mean?
whole
Like-
life is McDonald's now.
Like yeah, bro. Like I would apply for this because you're probably getting a very cushy corporate job when you get out.
Absolutely.
Maybe not cushy, but
That's interesting.
1% of applicants. So where do I
1%?
apply?
He's gonna see if
Vin's
he can
actually
transfer
looking
to
into it.
Hamburger University. All right.
Inside Hamburger University.
Wow. So what's the best fast food chain? Who's got the best fries? Let's start with that.
Burger King.
I think Wendy's. Wendy's or
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
Waffle fries go crazy.
Something about Burger King. Just
But
hits.
I do see where you're coming from with the Burger King. There's a lot more potato in the Burger King.
That's what I
fries.
want, the genuine. I want the real thing. And, you know, I'm a big real guy.
You want the real deal?
I want the real deal, bro. No, I fuck with waffle fries though.
All
There's
right,
something-
since we're about to kick off the holiday season, last question of the day. What do you think is the number one Christmas movie of all time? Me, Polar Express, hands down.
It's a good one. I think Elf or Home Alone. I'm a very big Home Alone guy. But
Thank
for
God
me,
Elf
Elf
is your favorite. I hate Elf.
Elf is a tradition in my family. Like whenever my cousins from New Jersey come over for the holidays, we always watch Elf. But honestly, I'd say Home Alone. It's a classic. You got the trilogy. I'm not gonna count 4 and that other one that they made. 4 does not count. 3 is still kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
But the original 1 and 2. I remember in elementary school, my piano teacher, she knew how much I loved Home Alone, and she gave me Home Alone 1, 2, and 3,
The score?
the disc pack.
Damn.
And yeah, shout out to you, Miss Hennings. I don't know if
Shout out Miss Hennings.
I don't know what
Shout
she's
out
doing
Miss
right now, but hopefully she's doing well.
Vin, favorite Christmas
I was still
movie?
looking at Hamburger University because this is so interesting to me now, bro. Like, I'm going to apply.
You've never heard about it before?
No, it's all about operations and, like, leadership stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just so cool. Frosty Snowman, easily. That is just the universal, like, Christmas movie you're watching as a kid. I still watch it every year. Like, come on,
That's
like Frosty.
true.
Now,
It does
Elf
give you
is-
that
Elf is
spirit.
up there.
Elf is up there just because of like how universally iconic it is.
Yeah, but also Polar Express is huge.
But
That was my childhood, Polar Express.
Polar
I'll be
Express
honest.
That's
was
just
my
like a-
Polar Express was my childhood.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it gives
It's
you
such a feels good movie.
it's a feel good movie, and I think it truly gives the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
I think it's just the all around.
Yeah, that's a movie I would want to like throw on with my kids 100%. Frosty
Yeah.
Snowman, I've watched it like 50 times, but like
Yeah.
30 of them I was completely drunk and it made it way more fun. So that's maybe that's the reason I favor that one so much, but yeah, no, the Polar Express is a feel good. Elf is so good though. That's
My favorite part of the Polar Express is when the train's on ice and they're like fucking zigzagging all over the place. That shit is
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, that's
no, that whole movie is just phenomenal. Yeah, Christmas is such a great season, bro.
Christmas is the best season.
Like it does
Best
lose
holiday.
its charm a little bit as you get older, but
Yeah.
like then you get caught up in like everyone else being excited about it, and then
Yeah.
like it still comes back.
Yeah.
We do have to plan a Christmas like a tree trip with the entire chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Definitely.
gotta start talking to Justin about that.
You two don't know about this. I told a few people when I was coming back to Pace one time. I was going across the Tappan Zee, and traffic was going like weirdly slow for how late it was. So I was going across the Tappan Zee. Everyone was going like 50 miles an hour. So I saw lights up ahead, and I was like, "What is somebody getting a police escort? It's like the fucking president rolling into New York or something." And I get to where it is. There's like an oversized load car. And I'm like, what the fuck could they possibly be hauling where they're taking up like 3 lanes of traffic on a 4-lane bridge? So I'm in the left lane, I'm going past it, and I look to my right, and it's the Rockefeller tree. Like I saw the Rockefeller tree before it became the Rockefeller tree. And that like I took like blurry photos of it because I was passing it, but I literally told my mom and my sister, I was like, I feel like I have top secret information on my phone right now.
Yeah, shout out Steve Caperna in Mayapack. We actually knew the kid. This is going back years, but in 2018 they took the tree from one of our neighborhood friends, Seamus Acton.
For the
shout out.
Rockefeller tree?
Yeah, the Rockefeller tree.
That's
yeah.
wild.
Yup.
That's crazy. I wonder how crazy the selection process is
Shout
for
out
a
Mayhem.
tree.
I don't know how crazy it could be because if you've seen over the years, hasn't been a very good tree.
Yeah, I feel like this year's tree is gonna be shit from what I saw. Like it's not it's not like a thick tree, but it's a very tall.
It's
tree.
never been a full tree. It's always lacked. Some people say that they fill it in, but I don't think they did. They do.
They fill it in.
Yeah, like put branches or something, and that's what they said because everyone always complains. Because I think the last like nice tree was like 2020 or something. Because all the other, because I saw a TikTok actually,
Yeah.
and they showed like from 2018 up, and like it's always been very like bare tree. It's always been lacking.
Yeah. I do believe that they fill it in though to make it look more full.
At what age do you guys think that your parents should no longer buy you Christmas gifts? Like, at what age do you age out of getting gifts for Christmas?
I think
'Cause
the
I'm
cutoff is
22.
30.
So when is the cutoff?
I think the cutoff's 30.
30.
Yeah.
I thought the cutoff was like 18.
I would have said like 15, 16.
Really?
I feel like by
young?
at that age, at least for me, maybe it was just because I was working at that time. It was just like this is super no connection, but I was working like, when you get to that age, like you could buy yourself everything you need or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, I guess it also kind of loses the spirit. Like you're on your own at that age.
But
or at least
do your parents still like give you money for Christmas?
No, they still give me gifts.
That's what I mean. So like, at what age does that actually fully stop?
Like completely cut off.
Maybe like on your
I still say 30.
You're 33 and like your parents are like, here's a check for the kids if you got kids, like
yeah.
Get them some.
I wouldn't really count that as a Christmas
right.
like
So
gift.
at what point does they stop like giving you actual stuff?
Honestly, I would say to the point where until you move out.
Yeah.
Something
I
like
think
that. 20, 25 years old. That's realistic, I would say.
That's not true for my family. I feel like some of the people that have lived in my house, that have moved out, still come around, and my parents still get gifts for them and whatnot.
Yeah, bro. Because I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be another year older. Like, when the fun stop coming? Because like, I appreciate that $100 bill on Christmas or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That's good gas money in this economy. So
Yeah. All right. I think we're all wrapped up.
Wait,
I
real
don't
quick.
know,
What do you want for Christmas though? One thing.
What do I want for Christmas? Oh man,
I know
you're gonna have to come back to
Thanksgiving
me.
next week.
You're gonna have to come back to
All
me.
right, guy.
I ask for clothes a lot of the times. Specifically this year though, I'm asking for a nice JBL speaker for my parents. Something good for the dorm.
Like mine? Like the Extreme?
I was thinking just a JBL Flip 5,
No. Get the charge. It's worth it. Get the charge. It's worth that extra. Like
the one
50
that's like a
bucks.
little bigger.
Yeah, like Mike's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Flip. Go one up.
I'll fix that on my list.
Yeah. Fix that. It's worth it. It's worth the
The
investment.
one thing.
But I was thinking about that because, my girlfriend too, she was asking like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know. And she keeps budging me and pushing me, like, give me a list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really don't want anything. Like, I have everything I could possibly
Like
want
I
right now.
appreciate.
Anything affordable, I have everything that I
got
want.
mine easy, yo. If my lineage hears this, bro, I am a size small. Please buy me my crew neck. I would like my brother name letters on the back of them before I graduate.
Chaz
please,
is definitely gonna
please
pull
get
through.
it done.
Real
Chaz will
quick,
pull through.
I'm going to call out my big, I want my lineage letters.
I'm calling out my big too.
that's true. You
I
did
had
Danny,
to
get me those letters.
I had to buy my own letters, Will. I know you know this. So I expect now you have a full-time job. I would like my crew neck letters for Christmas. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. So I can also get jokes.
Yo, shout out Kevin for getting me my necessities.
Yeah, shout out Kevin Lutz. Shout out brother.
Got hooked up.
Yeah, that's what I, besides that, like, I really don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I want for Christmas, it just helps me out in the future. It's like a, what is it? A gimbal. You know, the thing that like stabilizes the camera and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty sick.
Like the high tech one though.
Besides that, peace and love.
Of course.
Peace
That's all I
in Ukraine.
need.
Peace in Ukraine and Russia. How about an end to the war?
No, we're not. Fuck you.
Quick, end the podcast.
Cut it off.
All right,
Cut it off.
then you're done.
Yep, you're done. But yeah, I think that just about wraps up this week's episode. I hope by the time this comes out, Thanksgiving is past. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, saw some family, ate some fantastic food. Yeah, I guess we'll see you next week.
Goodbye,
All right.
everybody. Wings
ya.
up forever.
It's Thanksgiving time. We're moving into Christmas now. So
Happy holidays, everyone.
happy holidays.
Yeah, we gotta decorate the house.